Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 Japanese destroyer, Shimakaze. It has 6 main guns, 15 torpedoes, 28 AA guns, a surface detection of 5.9 kilometers, top speed 39 knots, total 17,900. For my modules, reduced crit chance on torpedo tubes, faster torpedo aim, faster torpedo rearm, lower chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, and concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, faster torpedo arm again, superintendent, last stand, and concealment again. We are on the map The Atlantic, and what do you think of the commander skill icons? You're not going to hurt my feelings if you don't like the way they look. I did toil with my hands, my bare hands, to create the icons, just so they look good, and so we can all benefit from a visual representation of the commander skills as I'm saying them. I know many of you, English is not your first language. Hopefully this will assist you further. So I'm in the center of the map, trying to capture B for my team. Torpedoes are 30 seconds away, and an enemy Kutuzov is incoming. I do not want to be spotted by that ship. He's a light cruiser with a high rate of fire. That is scary. So I'm ready to bail. I'm not going to risk a tier 10 to fight a tier 8 at the beginning of the match. There are way too many players that are just fine throwing away their ship in the first 2, 3, 4 minutes of the game. Do your best to stay in the match and help your team out. It's not helpful to give yourself up for a point at the very beginning of the match. Those points are not worth that much. So he's getting closer and closer. We should be able to cap before he scouts us out, though. We have somewhere in the 5.8, 5.9. I believe it's 5.9. You know, I say these things at the very beginning. It's muscle memory at this point. I don't really pay attention. But yeah, it's 5.9. An enemy Shimakaze, oh crap! He's gonna scout us out. We're about 200 meters, 100 meter. Pop the smoke. I popped the smoke just to make sure. He's, of course, interrupting our ability to cap. Looks like a friendly Shimakaze sent his torpedoes out. I sent mine narrow spread and forward of his position, believing that he would gain some speed, possibly move into them, and it looks like he's actually doing just that, and yes! We devastate the Shimakaze. First blood. Yeah, that feels great. Being able to take out a tier 10 without risking your ship or taking any damage, nothing better. That takes a lot of power from the enemy team. Now, the enemy Kutuzov that's in the capture point right now seems to have taken a torpedo or some source of damage, not from me, of course. And I'm going to allow him to cap. I will most likely try and move back in once he leaves. Too often, the ship will leave the capture point and not defend it. You can easily capture after they've captured the point. There's not really a huge risk to this particular tactic. I've used it a bunch of times, and I'm surprised at how effective it is. This Kutuzov, though, is not given the opportunity to capture. He's taking... Oh, we get 2 torpedo hits. Where did those go? I don't even see what they hit. Probably around 20,000 points of damage. I'll take that. Now, this Kutuzov, he is in trouble. He's showing his side. I'm like, I could fire on his position and kill him, but my friends do it for me. So now, nobody is capturing B. It appears that the closest enemy ships to B will not be able to scout me out as I attempt to capture B for my team. And my torpedo systems are back up. I'm just considering, what should I do? Now, part of sending out torpedoes in a Shimakaze is understanding what the enemy is going to do or wants to do. You can't just blindly send them out and expect success. Like the Shimakaze, I sort of predicted that they would speed up and head one direction. It worked out in my favor. More times than not, I find that a target is at their slowest when they first are spotted. You have to allow them or predict that they will be moving faster than the initial engagement or the initial first sight. So this North Carolina appears to be headed towards C, backing up his team at C. There's not a lot of room to decide to send it against him. He is wiggling back and forth because he's under fire from friendlies. He is not a ideal target because of that. I do a quick check. That must be the Iowa that I hit with the torpedoes. He is down about 20,000 points of damage. That is significant. He probably will play more passive. These guys are so far away, though, they're not under direct fire from a friendly. They're less inclined to maneuver to avoid the shot. Now, that is important. You would prefer that a target is not inclined to maneuver for incoming fire. The best situation is when there are multiple ships on screen, your teammates are engaging one of those ships, you choose a ship behind, but not directly behind. The front ship would obviously scout out the torpedoes. You want them to get to the target unseen. And I'm just trying to really decide, okay, who is committed to a direction that we can take advantage of? This Iowa appears to be moving pretty consistently. This Ibuki is trying to run away from the friendlies. We just captured A. We have great control over the map, and the Ibuki is not a valid target. The island is in the way. Now, some of you might be going, whoa, you're thinking way too much about this. Well, I've had terrible success in the Shimakaze, so I need to consider my options as much as I can. Being this far away from the enemy, there's a lot of time for them to change their mind, and that's the worst part about this. Yep, and he's changing, he's moving. Another annoying aspect would be a friendly torpedo bomber going for the target that you've already sent your torpedoes at. Obviously, the target is going to want to maneuver to not die to the torpedo bombers, so your teammate has just screwed up your attack run. And they probably didn't even know they were doing that. But that's one of the things that you should have a good idea over. Now, this Iowa, I'm much closer. I'm about 1 kilometer away from being detected. Half a kilometer now. So I'm going to send my torpedoes against the Iowa, and the enemy Shimakaze shows up. He must have terrible detection. If I saw him at 7 kilometers, and this looks like we could get some good damage, I should have let him just a little bit more, and he definitely realizes the threat that's incoming. I'm hoping 3 torpedoes. Oh, we just barely missed 1. We get 2. Can we get a 3rd? We do cause flooding, which is good. He's probably got damage control available, though. He is susceptible, though, to fires if friendlies are able to land them. And we might actually get the Iowa in the back, which is a little silly considering they're scouted. These torpedoes were scouted. He had plenty of time to maneuver, and he's just not doing it. He's able to avoid all but 1. And we take out steering. We land another one. Oh, that's so beautiful. We scout the enemy Shimakaze. And I just, hey, torpedoes, torpedoes. We should not have an ally make the same mistake that Iowa did. He should not have run into those torpedoes the way he did. He knew they were coming because his friend scouted it out. So we just gotta wait. Looks like everyone will be able to clear the path. I do know the Shimakaze is somewhere in front of me. I have my smoke. I'm not afraid. Plus I've got my allies right behind me that can fight him out. Both Iowas about 50% live. We know the back Iowa used his heal. He won't have it for probably another minute. That enemy Ibuki is coming back. Enemy Shimakaze decides to fire. He probably felt like I could take the Benson. The Benson is returning fire. It's a little dangerous, but we do have a rather large advantage. Consider torpedo attacks. I don't really like it. He's 13 kilometers away. Plenty of time for the torpedoes to be scouted. This Ibuki is on a collision course with me and the Benson. That front Iowa looks like he's going to die to the friendlies. I don't want to waste torpedoes on a target that's going to die. I would prefer possibly this Ibuki, or the Shimakaze, or the Iowa in the background. So I'm setting up my torpedoes. I'm ready to go against the Iowa, but the game has a different idea. Enemy Benson shows up. No health. We're going to fire on this guy. I am not passing up this easy kill. We let it fly, and enemy Benson defeated. He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, of course, we're scouted because we open fire. Enemy Shimakaze fires, and Of course, he destroys one of our turrets. First damage we've taken the entire game. Destroys one of our turrets. We're doing everything we can to not take more damage. Holding my fire to drop off. We dropped off? Okay, we're good, we're good. Now, this Ibuki looked like he was backing up. So I was pushing forward. I wanted to get in his face and force him to commit. Well, guess what? He wants to get in the face. He's moving forward now, and this is bad because I'm scouted out. In the open, his guns are not trained on us, though. I choose to pop my smoke. I do not want to take more damage that could get me killed. There's the Iowa, the New Orleans, the Shimakaze. Maybe the Ibuki is just like, I don't want Notser to live, okay? I've had that too. Now, this Ibuki doesn't look like he has any interest in doing anything other than dying. It's just who's going to get the kill. Now, I have done absolutely nothing against the Ibuki. I'm going to let my teammates do it. They've got this in the bag. They kill him, we get 60 points, and the game basically ends. There's no time to send torpedoes, and that's how it worked out. We were able to land pretty good damage, take out the Shimakaze at the start. It really is a big deal if you could take out those enemy destroyers. They are worth a ton. So, we get Devastating Strike, First Blood, 2 kills, 8 torpedo hits, 2,256 base XP, and around 110,000 points of damage. Solid Shimakaze game with a lot of torpedo strikes. I will always work for a better game, but I'm satisfied with this game. We did a good job of supporting our team, and it paid off in the end. I hope you enjoyed this game. Let me know about those icons. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.